We begin this hour with a former Marine who was detained at a psychiatric ward for his Facebook posts. Today, a judge ordered the release of 26-year-old Brandon Raub. He was sent away for posting anti-government messages on his Facebook page. The police and FBI raided his Virginia home in mid-August and interrogated him about his online activity. He was later transported to a psych ward against his will. Well, the judge today said there is no basis to hold him at that psych ward. So why was he ever detained in the first place? To discuss, I'm joined now by John Whitehead, an attorney for the Marine. Hi, John. So just want to get your reaction first to the judge ordering his release.
Well, very, very happy. To be honest, a bit surprised because the system is very difficult to navigate, civil commitments. Where what happened to him last Thursday, he saw some police drive up his driveway in front of his house. He went out on the front porch. He only had his shorts on and started talking. He said, "What's up, guys?" And they said, "You've posted some controversial things on your Facebook page." While he was trying to explain himself, they surrounded him and then went ahead and handcuffed him and took him away and put him in a police car. He said, "What's the crime?" They said, "You've really committed no crime. We're not charging you with a crime." And they're not going to charge him with a crime. It was this Facebook post. They took him to a psychiatric ward, and he had a 15-minute psychological examination, had a hearing Monday. And the special justice, who's a lawyer, ruled that he needed another 30 days to be in the hospital for evaluation. And so we appealed that, and a judge today, a circuit judge, ruled that there was really no factual basis, as you said, to keep him in the psychiatric ward. What happened was he was playing a game on Facebook, essentially, a private grouping, his brother and his sister, and they were quoting song lyrics from a group called Swollen Members. I've never listened to the group. I read the lyrics. Some of them could be considered violent lyrics, but, you know, the Beatles had violent lyrics, too, and the Rolling Stones, so, in my day. But anyway, so that was the basis, his free speech. He targeted no one. And by the way, they couldn't get a search warrant because he didn't commit a crime. And so if they'd have searched his home, they would have realized he owns no weapons.
Okay. Can you, John, describe more the nature of his Facebook post that stirred that controversy? I read his posts were interpreted as terrorist in nature. Is there anything that you find that he posted that fits that description?
Well, one of the song lyrics was, "I'm getting ready to sharpen my axe." But you got to understand, he was talking to his brother and sister in a game called Mr. Illuminati. It was a game they were playing. And somehow the government downloaded that. And again, as I write, if you go to Rutherford.org, I write articles on surveillance. The private corporations are giving over all kinds of information to the police. So anything you do on Facebook, it goes to the police. So we know that. But they conducted surveillance, and that's what happened. But he targeted no one. He's a decorated Marine. He's been to Iraq, Afghanistan, and he's a combat engineer. So he owns 2 businesses in Richmond, Virginia. He's a upstanding man in the community, a decorated Marine. He owns no weapons. So he targeted no one. He's concerned about the government. He's a Ron Paul libertarian. Did he have any violent history? None. He's never seen a psychiatrist. He's never been on drugs. The only time he's ever seen a psychiatrist is when they put him in this mental institution last Thursday. So then why was he detained in the first place? I mean, what basis was there to justify him being sent to a psychiatric ward? Well, all we know is his Facebook post. They said some people complained, about 5 people is what they listed at the hearing Monday. And people basically he didn't know except for one person. So what this means is it can happen to anybody. I mean, there are 20,000 civil commitments in Virginia alone each year. So what happened here, and it was really key and really important, his mother went on Facebook and started talking about this case, and my son's been taken away, and someone contacted us, and we provide legal defense. Most people never get that, so they disappear in these institutions. Now, is this the norm? I mean, does this happen often that a former Marine will be sent to a psychiatric ward for saying things like this, or is this unprecedented? Oh, no, I said look, there are about 20,000 of these civil commitments in Virginia alone each year. But what happened the other night, the veterans groups contacted me across the country and said they're getting complaints from veterans who have come back from Afghanistan and Iraq. The FBI is investigating them because of their political views. If you remember a couple years ago, the Department of Homeland Security issued 2 memos on left-wing and right-wing extremism. In the right-wing extremism, veterans were listed as threats to America. So there seems to be this idea that veterans are some kind of threat. And it's a little unnerving if you're a vet, and the veterans groups are very, very upset.
Seems a little bit ironic that vets would specifically be considered a threat, considering they had once fought, or some of them had once fought, to defend the country.
Yeah, and here's the point. I've been handling constitutional cases for 40 years. I've said this is the first one that gives me the creeps. They did not charge the man with a crime. They just picked him up, arrested him, and took him away. No crime.
I know that you had said before that this is an attack on his First Amendment rights. Do Marines or former Marines have some kind of special obligation to censor what they say or what they post online?
I don't think anybody in America has a duty to do that. I think if you're concerned about your government, and he should speak out, and he has a right. The thing is, people like this stick out because most Americans don't do it. They're too busy watching sporting events or whatever they're doing. This guy here is concerned with this country, and he's speaking out, and that got him in trouble. But again, I asked the question, is this America? Do we still have First Amendment rights? Yes. A judge today said we do.
Okay. John, what is next for your client there?
We're talking to Brandon and his mother right now about a possible civil lawsuit against the government for damages. They put this man through hell.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show and telling us all about this really interesting case. That was attorney John Whitehead.
Thank you.